What is up, everybody? It's Brian, the Toyota guy over here at Fred Anderson Toyota in Asheville. And I noticed it's been way too long since I've done anything video related on my YouTube channel or my Facebook page or anything like that. And while I'm out here kind of walking around the boneyard or the trade-in yard, this whole area over here on the side of the dealership is where we park a lot of the cars that are taken in on trades, and it's kind of the processing lot where things get moved around. There was like a handful of just some really cool stuff over here that I wanted to share with you guys. All very unique, so stay tuned to check them out. So of course there's all kinds of stuff, but I mean, we get a lot of really good inventory, but the stuff I really want to focus on is some of the more unique items. And right off the bat, here is a brand new model. I think it's a 23 Civic Type R, and I think it only has about like 3,000 miles on it. We basically had a really clean Supra, an A91 special edition that was traded into us in almost the same exact color. And we had a lady that drove all the way up from Florida to trade the car. And of course, you know, as you'd expect, this is a manual transmission. It's got some crazy dark window tint going on in here, but of course it's got the red interior. These new Type R's, man, are a force to be reckoned with when it comes to, you know, performance and everything like that. This is a gorgeous car. I really like the update on this body style compared to the outgoing one, and I even like the spoiler, honestly. It's you know, a little bit of a boy racer look, but it kind of matches the body well. You've got the tri-exhaust there with kind of the built-in splitter. Such a fantastic car. If you know anything about these cars, you know this is special. And if you know anything about me, you know I have such a sweet spot for blue. And honestly, this is a car that I would love to buy, but I don't think I'm in the position to add anything else to the fleet or get rid of something that I have. But in kind of a similar vein to those kind of cars, there are actually two over here that I'm pretty excited to see. So over here on the right, you can see we've got this Lexus, and I think this is an IS300, as well as this WRX right beside us. So this IS, let me see if it's a 300 or a 250 or a 200T. Let's see what it is. So it is a 200T. So this is the 4-cylinder turbo. Now, none of these really had the manual transmissions or anything like that. These are about the size of like a Corolla or something like that, but rear-wheel drive, of course. But these are such cool cars. In any of the Lexuses, this kind of pewter color is always a favorite of mine. I am not sure any of the prices on these, but these are pretty reasonably priced once they get pre-owned. So yeah, this one's a 2016 200T. So this one's actually probably gonna have a pretty fair price on it, and especially if you want to have something kind of, you know, fun and sporty to drive. I've definitely looked at buying these myself. And then right next to it is a WRX, but it seems to be kind of like a special edition, special version of this. I have not personally ever seen a WRX or an STI in this color. It's kind of like this metallic-y blue color, and I'm by no means a Subaru expert, but I love that it's got more of like the, I don't think I've seen these wheels on many other different versions, and it's kind of just got the more subtle duck lid spoiler here on the back. This one is a manual transmission, as you can see here. Looks like this has got the heated seats and everything, so it's got the Recaros and everything. I noticed the badging. This is a 50th anniversary edition WRX, and again, I know nothing about these. I don't know if they made bajillions of these or if this is like a numbered car, but if you're a Subaru person, you'll know exactly what this is, and I'm sure you'll educate me on it. But something really unique, traded in, and it looks cool to see it right there next to the Lexus. So here's a couple things that are very unique and sitting side by side here. The one on the left is a Corolla Cross. I only just noticed this when I was walking around. This is a pre-owned one. It's a 2022. It looks like it's an XLE potentially. Yep, XLE all-wheel drive. These are so hard to get from Toyota, and I have sold so many of these in the last few days as they've been starting to trickle in, especially now that they've got the hybrid options. But these are such a fantastic car, especially if you want to have kind of a small SUV but don't want to necessarily pay the same price on a RAV4 or a CRV. Just a really great option. It's got a lot of the interior design straight out of the Corolla, with a lot of the body styling from a RAV4, and especially with having the all-wheel drive. You can see this one's leather, and you know, should have heated seats and all that kind of stuff. Just a really cool car. I literally was just talking to a customer who bought one the other day while he picked up his floor mats, and he's loving it so far. Right next to it, and again, I know nothing about this car as far as like miles or condition or if we're selling it or what, but it's a 2016 Scion FRS or Subaru BRZ as well. It looks like it's mostly stock minus the wheels, and I'm glad to see that, because a lot of times these things get modified and some people are kind of rough on them and they tend to kind of kill them. So I'm hoping this one's going to be a good one to sell, because, you know, when it's a 2016, it's usually fairly affordable, and it's got the manual transmission, everything there as well. I've always been a big fan of these, but I'm not a huge personal fan of the Subaru engines as much as I love everything else. But they drive fantastic, they handle well, they've got more than enough power for the roads. It's a pretty fun car to drive, but pretty unique, and hopefully we'll sell it. All right, so last two are a little bit different. They're both gonna be in the four-wheel drive category. This one is a 2016 Nissan Frontier, and this one's another one that's kind of like the FRS, where I'm not sure if it's one that we're gonna end up retailing or not. But it's so unique, and honestly, with as many people as come here to buy Tacomas and stuff, I feel like a lot of these Frontiers and older Xteras get overlooked. They're maybe not the best selling in this segment, but they are so much more affordable than a Tacoma, and, you know, minus a couple known issues, these things actually hold up well and they're fairly reliable. Obviously this one's got a lift of some kind on it. I'm not the Frontier expert here, so I'm not exactly sure how this lift was done. I think I see some new parts on there and whatnot, but it's a pretty good looking truck, four-door, four-wheel drive, and looks like it's a manual transmission also. The only reason why I feel like this thing might not make it through recon is we're kind of picky on cosmetic stuff, and there's definitely a little bit of white paint that's flaking off, and it looks like they've tried to repair it. And unfortunately, a lot of these flat white paints on a lot of brands have issues. Toyotas have done it. This Nissan's doing it. I had a Hyundai years ago that did it. Honda had recalls and stuff like that for it. It's just an unfortunate thing that some whites can do. But minus some of that like cosmetic stuff, now it's a pretty good sized dent here, unfortunately. So unfortunately, this is probably one that we may not keep, but if you're interested in it and you're okay with a little bit of cosmetic stuff, want a cheap truck for yourself or family, I still think this would be a great one. Unfortunately, we just don't usually keep a lot of the rough cosmetic stuff just because we try to keep appearances here at the dealer, but still kind of a cool truck, and especially since manual transmissions are hard to get, one to check out. All right, so I saved the best for last, and as you can see, there's still all kinds of cool stuff I could talk on and on about. Expeditions are kind of hard to get used some places. Venzas are next to impossible to find. You know, here's even a Honda Pilot. I have no clue the miles, but this older body style is pretty popular. But man, oh man, I tried to save the best for last year. But this is a 2001 4Runner. It has about 156,000 miles, and I am in love with this thing. It's one of those where if I just had some cash sitting to the side, I would do everything in my power just to add this to my collection, just because I'm selfish and I like to have all these cars. But this thing was in immaculate condition. It's got the correct Michelin Defender tires on here that are so synonymous with these older 4Runners. It's like the tire for these. It's got this gorgeous like sea glass pearl, kind of this baby blue that I've never seen on these before. I'm sure it exists on others, but I have never seen this color personally. And minus a little bit of sun fading here, specifically on the driver's side, which tells me it's probably parked outside. You can see it along the roof there. This thing is in such good shape. I mean, the wheel arches, you know, they've got a few minor scratches and stuff, you know, with 22 years of life, but the running boards are in good shape. The wheels don't have hardly any, you know, oxidation or pitting on them. If we look at the rear end, you know, these older 4Runners that they're not taken care of have rust issues, and this one looks super clean up underneath of here. Even looking at the bumper caps, these things are known for getting dented and pitted and rusted and everything, and even the bumper caps are in great shape. You know, even looking at the tow hitch here, you know, it looks like it's probably done some towing, but I don't know how long ago, because that cap is pretty much stuck on there. But, you know, hardly even any rust on the original, you know, Reese hitch that these used to have on these 4Runners. But holy cow, this thing is in such good shape. Be excited to see what we do with this one. It's got the cloth interior, hardly anywhere. You can see there's a little bit there on the armrest, as well as the bolster there is a little bit worn. You can see that it's 4-wheel drive and automatic, so this has the 4-liter automatic. There's the sunroof and everything right there. Just such an amazing car, and I hope to be the one to sell this, mainly because my policy is if I can't buy it, I'd like to sell it. So yeah, tons of cool stuff. Hopefully it was worth sharing with you guys. There's so much stuff going on here at the lot. We've got well over 200 cars, plus we're actually finally getting a lot of new cars. I'm hearing a lot of people can't get Tacomas and 4Runners, and stuff like that, and we've got more of them than anyone. So if you see anything you like here or anything you want me to track down for you, feel free to give me a call. Thanks very much and have a great day.